Hi, I'm Simon, and this is a response to a very good question asked by Dave, Lawnboyspost1975. And he quite simply asked if you could go back in time and change one thing from video game history, what would it be? If I could go back in time, what would I change? It worked. But that was very dangerous. I'm sure most of you know that you should never, ever time travel without an orange body warmer. So I'm lucky. I don't know how I got away with it, but and I've come back too far. So I'm going to have to do this again anyway. Okay, let me see if I can. That's better. 1989. Now, this is a year where I can do something. A year where I would like to make a change. And you're probably thinking, it's going to be Sega, or Sega, or Sega, however you like to pronounce it. You want them to still be a hardware manufacturer, and yeah, that is true. But that's not the one choice I would make. Something sprang to mind straight away, and it's not that. And it's not bringing Spectrums back, and as much as I would like that, I mean, Dave's answer to the question was really cool. We could have, I mean, I'm not a patriotic guy at all, but it would be rather cool to have a thriving British computer industry, an Apple of England. That would be rather cool. Could you imagine it? But no, the thing I am changing, because I'm here in 1989 now, so I can change this. I am going to save the Connex multi-system. The Connex multi-system? Yeah, I know. Some of you are probably thinking, well, what the hell was that? Well, you've probably heard of Connex. If you're from Britain, you will have heard of Connex. Or at least, if you're from Britain and you're a similar age to me, you'll have heard of Connex, because they were a joystick manufacturer. They might still be, I don't know, but they definitely were a very successful one. And probably their most famous product was the Speed King. A very cool, innovative little joystick. But around about 1988, they were working on a new peripheral. It was going to be a kind of steering wheel, but also a flight yoke, and it could turn into like a motorbike set of handlebars. And they thought to themselves, well, let's make this into a console. And luckily, at the same sort of time, there was a team of guys, I think there were 3 or 4 of them, who broke away from Sinclair. And they wanted to make a games machine. So they had some hardware. This other company, Connex, had the peripherals. And so Connex approached them, they got together, and they came up with the idea for the Connex multi-system. An all-in-one peripheral console piece of awesomeness. And so I would love to have seen that succeed, because it's not just that it was this rather cool peripheral. The reason that it captured my imagination, and probably the imagination of lots of other teenagers at the time, was because it had a fully functioning hydraulic power chair. I mean, just how cool would that be? You guys know how much I love Space Harrier, and I loved it back then. Just the thought of being able to have a Space Harrier type chair in my home, running, even if it wasn't Space Harrier, that was running similar types of games. Wow. So I will, because I'm here, I'm in 1989, I will approach Connex and whatever, I think the other team were called Flare or Flare One or something like that. These guys, and visit their financial backers And maybe I might have to tell a little fib or two about the future, how these types of systems and gaming chairs have become all the rage. But if you don't go through with this, Sega and Nintendo, everybody else is going to get there. But you can be the first to it and convince their investors to put more money into it and to make this project become a reality. I mean, could you imagine if in 2013 it was, or even long before that, it was commonplace. Everybody had these gaming chairs in their home. Everybody had this type of peripheral. Wow. The landscape of gaming would be quite different. I mean, thinking about 2013, we're going to be having, as I mentioned in a previous video, the Oculus Rift VR goggles. Could you imagine those with a full hydraulic chair? So when you're playing flight simulators or racing games, you just feel like you're there. Can you imagine playing the new Elite game when it comes out, or Star Citizen, or Gran Turismo 6, or whatever the new titles are on something like this? Man, so that's it. Well, thank you, Dave, for asking this very cool question. From my spare room, from 1989 to where and whenever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye-bye.